Good afternoon, CFM. This is Coach Matt with Tuesday workout, bench press deload strength day. So we're gonna keep the weight kind of light. Let's begin with our warm up. 2 rounds. If you wanna run, you may, depending on what the weather looks like today, you might wanna stay inside. But I like to go a 600 or 3 minutes and then a 400 or 2 minutes, progressively faster each round. Every time, so it's 2 rounds. The second round, just a little quicker. If you want to mix it up, that's fine too. I'm not emotionally connected to running right now today, but it does not mean we want to neglect it for the indoor portion of the year where it's snowy and icy outside. So be careful on the sidewalk, or if you stay inside, just make sure that another time this week that we're getting outside and doing a little bit of jogging, working on the calf, ankle, Achilles, lower extremity complex there. Pigeon taps is next when you come back. So the pigeon tapper will start off in a nice relaxed pigeon position. I don't want you to bounce into the first one to make sure that you can really get all the way down. And now from here, you can see I got the ball of my foot on the back leg engaged a little bit there, and then my hands planted in the ground. I'm gonna press up, right? So I'm arching myself up, but I kind of gotta make it a jump so that I can slide my other leg into position in the mirror image. So up, slide and switch, up, slide and switch. That's our pigeon taps. Okay, work on pulling with the hip, getting into that position fast, making that a dynamic and comfortable position. Next one is our scap push-up. So from the plank position, we're just working on squeezing the shoulder blades back and down, and then pressing them as far forward as we can. So back and down, and then pressing as far forward as we can. After that, got a little balance practice. So this will be a standing figure 4. So knee up, place that outside of that foot across above the knee of the opposite leg. And then we're gonna start up in the tall position. If you can go up on your toe, press up on your toes, and then down and try to reach both hands towards your foot. And you'll find probably the first rep, you might not be able to get to your toes. Second rep will be a little closer. If you can reach both hands to the foot that's on the ground, that is like elite level figure 4. If all you do is reach your hands towards it and work on your balance, then it's gonna be a progressive improvement for today. All right. Sorry, I spent a lot of time on that. Next one is our standing rotary reach. So feet underneath the hips. Start with your hands out front. We're gonna open to the left, back to the middle, open to the right, back to the middle. Feet stay planted, so try to feel that rotation in your thoracic spine, right? And arms should stay like on the same flat plane the whole time. Last one will be like your warm-up set of bench press. So start with that empty bar, maybe go to like 25, 35% on the second round. We're only going to 50% for today. That's what's next is our bench press. It's 5 sets of 5 at 50% with a superset of a band face pull, 10 reps. So my band face pull, very light band. Start off in my athletic stance, thumbs pointed down, and I'm pulling the band like right towards my nose. But before it hits my nose, I'm gonna rotate my arms up to overhead position. So it's row and up and over the top of my head, okay? That is a band face pull, 10 reps of that every round of 5 bench press. When you're done with that, pull the band off of the rig and take your barbell and bring it to the ground like so, okay? And I have that, yeah, that looks good. Okay, so 3 rounds through, moderate pace, controlled quality, a barbell, the landmine row and press. This is one of my favorite, really cool functional movements. Start with that stagger stance with the outside leg in line with the bar. Inside leg is kind of close to the grips. And then I'm gonna grab the collar, right? So the collar, if I have weights on here, and you should, they're gonna be on the inside, like right there. So I'm gonna grab about halfway up the collar, right? And I'm pulling to my chest, switching hands, and then pivot and press, right? So it's kind of a diagonal press. Make sure you hit the lockout and that you rotate both feet 90 degrees, and then reset to the shoulder, grab with the inside hand, and back to the ground, right? So row and press, make sure you get a good snap at the lockout position, right? And you guys can, everyone can be like 10, 15 pounds of metal weights on here. Some of the big boys will be maybe like 35, 45 pounds on there, okay? But watch out of the overhead position because it's only stabilized by the weight on the floor. So you have to control stability of the shoulder at the top. All right, next is our chest to bar hold. All right, and the way we can do some of these will be with a bar that is somewhere around chest height. And unless you are super strong on the pull-ups, this will be very hard to do with no assistance. So I'm saying out of the gate that almost everyone will be needing to use some amount of assistance to do this, right? And what we'll do is we'll start in like a pull-up position, and then you're gonna pull yourself up to until your sternum is touching the bar, and you're holding yourself there with as little positional support from the feet as you can handle. Some of you will be able to do this with a band, but that's a really tough position to hold, even for just 4 to 5 seconds. But I want you to get 3 reps of that 4 to 5 second hold at the chest position, and then let yourself back down, relax a little bit, pull back up to that touching the sternum, so anywhere from sternum to collarbone, right? But you're contacting the bar to your chest, right? Even if it feels like you're not really working the muscles, you actually are. It's just a position that most of us are very unfamiliar with, so you won't have a good sensory connection with the muscles that are performing that position until you've done it a lot, right? So that's kind of what we're doing here, is we're just trying to familiarize the nervous system with being in that position. And then when we actually do the chest to bar and you got a little momentum, you'll feel like you can squeeze harder, and your chest to bar pull-ups will be easier, and that leads us to our muscle up. It leads us to all kinds of other cool gymnastic things because it strengthens the lats in that contracted position. The next one is going to be a band star pattern, right? So you have your band that you took off the rig from the face pulls, starting off with a shoulder width grip with the elbows straight the whole time. So straight out, diagonal one direction, diagonal opposite direction. That's going to be our band star pattern. I can get 8 reps of that. The bridge knee raise is next. So I'll start off in my bridged position like so, hips up high, and then I'm pulling one knee up to my chest. And then as soon as my heel hits the ground, I'm squeezing the butt on both sides to keep my hips in line with my knees the whole time. And then last, we'll finish with our V sit-ups, right? Making sure to get the torso off the ground at the top. All right, that is it for our core, accessory, and shoulder training for today. I'll see you guys for a fun one tomorrow.